Welcome to the Barnes Flyover. This is your monthly update on all things 104th Fighter Wing, what's happening at Barnes Air National Guard Base, and how they're making an impact right here in the community of Westfield. Whether you're here to learn something new, check out what's happening, or just to hang out and listen, this podcast has got you covered. Let's take off into today's episode.
Johnny on the intro, welcome back. Thank you so much for however you are watching us or listening to us. We are so happy to be back. Welcome to the Barnes Flyover. Melanie, how are you?
I'm doing good. And just like you said, good morning, good afternoon. This is a podcast.
I can't believe we were doing another one already. Labor Day has come and gone.
It's flown by. I had this plan that I would have these things done ahead of time, and poor Pete in the back gets our slides literally minutes before we're supposed to go on.
It's par for the course. My wife and I are expecting our first child due October 1st, so we are in the final stages of getting everything ready. So nursery is all done, so we can kind of just sit back and not be, running around for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and then I am so super nervous because I know she's going to do great, but I'm going to be alone in the office, and I'm going to need a co-host next month. So if anybody's up for that. Yeah, feel free to...
Guest host. Let's do a contest.
I know. If you want to be a host, comment.
There we go. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. We got a great show coming up for you today. Who do we have for our guest, Melanie?
We have Kailee Valliere from Military One Source. This is Suicide Awareness Month, and so she's going to bring us some resources that are available to members, their spouses, their children, to help us with more suicide awareness and other things around that.
Yeah, I was just talking to Kailee a little bit before the show, and a lot of questions that I need to have answered and love to have answered. So it's a great resource.
Good.
Looking forward to the conversation. Looking forward to get that to you next. We do have our random questions that we have not heard yet. I believe we're sticking to two this week, correct?
Two questions.
2 questions.
Mine are pretty quick, but...
Got mine on my phone here.
All right, so my first one, Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, and why?
So funny story before we get into Dunkin' or Starbucks. This morning,
that's right.
my coworker was in front of me at the Dunkin' drive-thru, so he paid it forward. He paid for me. Little did he know Melanie ordered like a $6 latte. So when he paid it forward, he was like, "Why is this so expensive?" But anyways, I'm a Dunkin' guy.
And little did he know that he ordered me the pumpkin specialty drink that has 1 million calories in it, and I only wanted a pumpkin latte, but. That one's expensive and full of, the ingredients list was ridiculous. So it's good.
But no Dunkin'.
No Dunkin'. Oh, so you like Dunkin'. Okay.
I'm a simple man.
Okay. My other question is Burger King or Wendy's? Wow. And honestly, it's because you have to choose it between the fries. It's a thing I do with my kids.
Ooh.
Come on, man.
Which ones have the better fries?
If I'm back when I was in high school, my friends and I would literally go to McDonald's for the burger, and then we would go to Burger King for the fries, and then we would go to Wendy's for a Frosty, all in one trip.
Yeah.
So I guess I would just go Burger King
for the fries,
for the nostalgia to it.
Yeah, that too. And did you get the Crown?
No, I've never gotten a Crown.
So my son has a different last name, Brandon Kowal, so BK.
Okay.
And so we'd always get the Crown, and he had to wear it all the time.
All right.
All right.
That's a fun fact. All right, here we go.
Okay.
It is after Labor Day. Fall is my favorite season. I love spooky season, all things pumpkin beer. The foliage, living in New England, is amazing. Pumpkin lattes that cost $6. So, Melanie, I know we talked about your summer activities. What are some of your favorite fall activities?
Same thing, hiking.
Okay.
Yeah, I love hiking no matter what season it is. It's a lot of fun in the winter, and the fall and the summer, so hiking.
Okay. Next question is inspired by the NFL kicking off today. I know you're not really an NFL fan, but so this is kind of more sport. If you were a fighter pilot and you had to give any athlete that you could pick a backseat ride, who would it be?
Oh, Lord. I don't even know the name of an athlete. Kevin Miller.
Okay, nice one.
Follow up later on why I said that.
I was thinking Tom Brady because everyone in Mass just loves Tom Brady.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry. I don't follow sports.
Okay, well, if you want to start, NFL kicks off today. I don't know if you're going to be tuning into that, but
I'm sure somebody I know is going to be on one of those not real teams, and then they bet.
Oh, that person is me. So
Oh,
you
really?
do know someone.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, no, okay. All right.
All right, awesome. Before we get into our recent community and base events, we do have our fun fact and history. Love doing this for you guys. September 4th, 1984. Did math prior to coming on the air for you. 41 years ago, the Air Force unveiled the first unveiling of the B-1B Lancer bomber, nicknamed the Bone, which officially entered service in 1986. The B-1B bomber carries the largest conventional payload of both guided and unguided weapons in the U.S. Air Force. That was true in 1986 when it came into the Air Force. That is still true today. So,
Is it still flying?
it is still flying, yes. So we have the B1, the B-52, and the B-2. So the B-1B
Is the largest.
correct. September
never knew
4th,
that.
1984, the very first unveiling to the public.
Very
I'm
cool.
a swing wing fan. I love the B1B.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. We should have had a picture, but then I would have known your fun fact.
Then you would have known the fun fact. I was looking at different pictures to see why it was called the Bone, and then I realized that it's B1, so B-O-N-E, just spells bone.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Did not know that.
All right. So let's get into community engagement. So we have been talking about this book that the 104th and the Thunderbolt Council kind of created together. And so we have been donating them all over the community. So the Westfield at Arbors, or the Arbors at Westfield, I'm not sure which the name is, all the local breweries, the Westfield Aviation Museum, Pratt & Whitney, Western Mass Veterans Support, Inc., American Legions, Homefront Strongs, and we've started, now that school is in session, we've been starting to get them into the local schools as well. So look forward to that if you are in one of our community places. And then this is the book. It's still for sale. It's still limited. And 100% of the profits goes towards the Thunderbolt Council, which 100% only supports the 104th Fighter Wing. So a really, really great cause.
I was able to get about a dozen signatures last weekend, and I was able to get that book over to my father-in-law, who really loved the
nice.
signatures. So he really appreciated that.
So we are also continuing with base tours. And so we had one called the Clergy Day, and our chaplain did talk about that in a few sessions past. We had 17 local clergy attend, and we also had a few other nonprofits with us that day. That was a really good one. There is a article about that in the Air Scoop coming up. And then again, we had another one, which was other nonprofits. 8 different nonprofits came out, and it's just kind of our way to say thank you to them for supporting our base, so we get to show them around. We will also be at the Pease Air Force Base Air Show, September 6th through the 7th. That's Thunder over New Hampshire, and we are not flying, but we do have an F-15 static display. Yeah. And then let's see, what else have we done? July 29th, we had our golf tournament.
Very cool day.
This one was really cool because it was between Westover, the 104th, and the 103rd Airlift Wing. So all 3 of those groups came together, and they raised over $10,000 for nonprofits. So it went to Homefront Strong and Irreverent Warriors. I do believe the 103rd won that match. Correct me if I'm wrong. Make a comment.
I'm going to question. I'm calling out the 103rd on that because I know our 104th golfing team.
Definitely wasn't the 104th. It may have been Westover. Because I remember thinking Westover still had a golf course, which they don't, I think. So Westover, I think, took that one home. Okay.
Wow, good for you.
Also in our community, so we talk a lot about the Westfield Aviation Museum. It's a great local area, right? Hangar 3, right outside our fence line. They dedicated their lobby to the 104th Fighter Wing. Well, one of our members had their retirement party there, and it was awesome. It just looked so cool, having all the vintage aircraft, but also having the 104th kind of highlighted in history in the beginning part of the ceremony. And that was for Fawn Strandness. She retired after 20 years, and she's a master sergeant.
Wow.
So her and her family.
Yeah, that was our very first retirement at the Westfield
Aviation
Museum, and just being there and seeing how amazing the setup looked and how great a job they did, I can foresee a lot more retirements happening there in the future.
A lot of fun. All right, so that's community events that we've done. What about base events?
Base events, all right. Let's kick off into what we did on base throughout August. We had a lot. August 22nd, I officially dubbed to be Finny Flightapalooza Day.
Yes.
We had 6,
Crazy.
count them, 6 Finny flights on on August 22nd, and those Finney flights are Captain Cole Hannibal Skinner, Major Rodolfo Thorne Cruz, Lieutenant Colonel Ashley Reck Rolfe, Lieutenant Colonel Caleb Soup Campbell, Lieutenant Colonel Michael B.S. Walsh, and lastly, Major Martin Heckler Clark. All of those pilots will be going to F-35 training school with the exception of Soup and BS. So we are continuing our conversion efforts. We have pilots coming back from F-35 training school, pilots going into F-35 training school. We do have a conversion page for you a little bit later, so we'll touch on that a little bit later. But great jobs from all the pilots there.
That was a crazy day. That was Friday last week. So if any of you are listening and you were wondering what the heck was going on over Westfield, you basically got a mini air show that day because our pilots were having a lot of fun and showing you guys their last flights in the F-15.
And then personally, I just love when they bring out their family and their friends.
And all the kids.
The best part is seeing their kids or their spouses spray them down after. It's the coolest part.
Here's a picture of all of them, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, so you can see a couple of the pilot suits there are a little bit darker than the others because they got a thorough dousing there, so they are nice and
So
wet
when
after
a
their
Finney flight comes down or a final flight comes down, they usually get hosed down or, a bottle of wine just kind of sprayed at them, champagne, or they get a bucket of water thrown over them.
And Melanie, this is your area here. I would love to know when that first started.
Oh my gosh. So I know with the A-10s back in, we had them for 30 years. They still did that with the A-10s. So back when we had the A-10s, again, another article in the Air Scoop, the A-10s would have their final flight and our fire trucks would come out and kind of like make a arch for them with the hoses, and they would drive through it. And sometimes it had a rainbow effect and stuff. And then once they got out of the cockpit, they would also be hosed down. I don't know when that started, but it was at least 40 years ago.
You know what?
I'm doing math.
If Melanie Casineau is on the case next podcast, she will have. I'm not going to promise it because I won't be on that podcast,
right.
But we will search for that and
the
hopefully have an
history
answer
of
for you.
being hosed down when you get out of a jet. Okay, cool.
Very cool. All right. Also on base, August 20th through August 22nd, we had about 40 members from the Security Forces Squadron do a training exercise simulating combat with a near-peer adversary. So that was kind of a three-pronged approach there for their mission. Number one was they were going to go to secure their forward operating base. Number two, they're going to defend that FOB. And then three, deter and neutralize any threats in the area. So looking at this training mission specifically, it was a little bit more into the ACE, what they call, which is Agile Combat Employment.
Okay.
And as A1C Elijah Harris explained to me this morning, who was covering the event, they are looking to get more into where our SFS members are able to do more of that step one, where you go into the, and establish that FOB, where before it might have been a different unit, and then we were coming in for step two, which is defend the FOB.
Okay. All right.
So,
did you guys arrange a flyover?
I
can hear that on the mics.
I don't know if we
they
can
hear
hear
that
it.
on the mics too.
I actually saw the reflection in the window, and it kind of caught me a little bit.
So 2 Finney flights happened today. It was hook and switch. And you guys, if you follow our socials, you'll get to see a little bit of video on that too. But yeah, so we've definitely had some flying. We have approximately 6 jets left. So
Approximately.
Yeah, so approximately three go out, and so we were talking about training, but then I want to backtrack up to the book, to the party that we had, because there's a quote that the commander said.
Oh, yes.
So now we're on, so this has been training, a ton of training that happened in August, really awesome. FSS did a field training as well.
FSS did a field training as well. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, so they basically just went into the field at Westover, so a simulated deployment environment, and they just basically did what they're trained to do, search and rescue, process people, process the dining facility area, have things set up and take down. So there'll be a story about that in the Air Scoop. They did well with that. They hadn't done it in quite a long time, and they did well with that. And then you got to go over to the maintenance field training.
That was probably I'm still very sore because I had all my camera gear. I had my tripod. I had my camera around my neck. So I'm still a little bit sore, but it was probably the most fun I've had covering an event. I love seeing the camaraderie, just people cheering on everyone else to, get over that wall or climb that ladder or even to tread water or land nav. So there was a lot of events there. And also there was they have 8 memorials there dedicated to the 8,500 fallen soldiers that we have lost since September 11th.
Wow.
So it was a pretty somber event at first. Each of our maintainers actually did a presentation kind of talking a little bit about each of the 8 memorials there. So there was Extortion 17, there was Operation Red Wings, and a lot of 6 others memorials dedicated to all those fallen airmen and fallen soldiers. So we did that first, and then we went on to the yoke course. Then we did some swimming. And as a prior coastie, I can say I was more in my element, I think, than they were, because I was seeing them tread water, and they were, I mean, they did just get smoked for like 3 hours prior too, but
wow.
I'm seeing it, and in boot camp, I'm like, I used to do this and have a fire hose like sprayed in my face. But no, very fun event.
I will tell you, so he shot a video and he put this together on Facebook, and so all last week we were going through little snippets of a video for the security forces training. This one very much looks like security forces training, but it's not. It's our maintainers, our crew chiefs. It's everybody over in the maintenance side of the house doing what looked like what security forces does. So we were kind of joking because Divine Kanye is the security forces commander, but she came from maintenance. And so they're kind of like, hey, we can still do what you do type thing. So it was kind of cute.
Not trying to start any squadron wars, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they looked good. They looked good. So if we go back, we have a slide that talked about our farewell to the Eagle Party, which is a tradition that the wing does when we transition to a different aircraft. But I want to tell you a quote. So Colonel Moon, David Halassi-Kuhn, got up and talked to everybody, and he said, and I quote, "Our wing is no stranger to change. From the P-47, the P-51, F-94, F-86, F-100, A-10, F-15, and now to the F-35, we've always adapted, because it's not just about the machine, it's the people of the 104th who make the difference. It's generations of excellence. That is our legacy." And I just love it. It really does. We've had a lot of aircraft. We've gone through a lot of change. A-10 still holding strong as the longest, but I think the F-15 was the next, and I'm curious to see how long that F-35 will last.
And I love this picture so much.
Oh, yes. So we had our first F-15 commander, Marcel Kerr-David, his nickname is Jake, and then our last F-15 commander, which is David Halassi-Kuhn, or Moon, and they were both at the party, and they were wearing matching shirts, of course.
Do you need to be a commander to own that shirt? Because
I don't know, but it was really neat to see them both there. Marcel looks a lot different than he did when he was in uniform. He definitely looks like he's retired now. And
that is a retired Navy or Coast Guard officer. I do not believe that as an Air Force.
So, yeah. All right. So we're going to keep moving on here. We're going to go into what we have got coming up in the community. We have 2 tours left. So I'm going to say I'm a little sad. I've had so much fun with our tours, all of our community coming out. I just love showing off the base. But we have 2 left. 2 homeschool groups are coming out, as well as the Christian school in Granville. And then we're also going to continue with our local book donations, like I mentioned before. So schools and retirement homes, and we're trying to get around in the community. Let's see what else here. And I think that's it for community stuff going on.
And then just to piggyback off that, we are getting questions about our tour program after the 15 goes away and we get the 35. That is TBD. There will definitely, hopefully, probably be a tour program. Melanie, can you attest to that in some fashion?
Yes, there will be. I can't imagine us being around without showing off the base. So at some point, we're going to come up with something. So, everyone loves to see the jets and loves to see the flight line, but we have so many other cool things on base. Like when you walk into one of our warehouses, it's massive. And to see, one of our recruiters one time said that we are a city within a city. So if you haven't ever been on a military base, we basically have all the same jobs that a city does, just inside the gates, inside the fence line. So I'd love to be able to show people the fire department, civil engineering, the people who get things going. Our massive snow plows are just massive. And other areas on the base. So even if the F-35 isn't ready to be seen right away, we'll have other things that we're going to try to work on.
Yep. And then not to brag, but when people do come into our base and they've toured other bases, they always say that when they toured Barnes, it was their favorite, best tour. Yeah. And that is because our Barnstormers are so passionate about their work, and they are so happy to share what they do and how we protect and do our mission. So.
Yeah, and one of our tours that we did, our our crew chiefs talked about some of their hobbies of woodworking and how they, they're a crew chief, but they also, people just love being at Barnes, and so they bring their other hobbies in, and they build things, and they do other things, and it's just like home. So it's neat to come out to see Barnes. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Yep. So what do we have going on the base coming up?
All right. Upcoming base events. Let's see. I think I have 16 more work days until I start paternity leave.
Not that I'm
counting.
I think,
Not that I'm counting.
he really wants to leave us. Hey, this is his first baby, so he's going to be such a good dad. He's going to be a very good dad.
Everyone says, like, you don't even know what to expect. And, like,
I don't think you do.
I know I don't, but, like, I'm not stressed. Like, why stress about something that you can't expect to know? Like,
that is
so
true.
I'm just chilling. But anyways, upcoming base events, we got a lot going on for you. Friday, September 12th, that is the Big E Military Appreciation Day. So all groups, I believe, are going to be able to get a chance to go to that.
Right. So the drill members, you guys will be released a little early to go and visit all of the resources. With Military Appreciation Day,
Yep.
It is free for all military and veterans. Parking is not free. Just remember that. But free to get in. And it is just filled with military resources. The VA, the Vet Center, and all of the local community services will be there as well.
And I believe Military One Source will be there, so we can talk about that in a little bit once our guest comes on. So that we have on September 12th. Then we have our 17th annual Fire Boot Drive. Melanie, can you tell us a little bit about this?
So this has been going on, obviously, 17 years. So our fire department stands at the gate and holds out their fire boots, really, and they're taking donations. And this round they're supporting the Holyoke Soldiers Home. So they're also, they're raising money for that. Sometimes there's music. Sometimes there's costumes. I think we have a Pooh Bear.
That's cool.
We might have a reindeer, but they make it fun, and you get through the gate. I believe they also collect cans. So cans are money.
Nice.
Because cash isn't as likely these days. But yeah, maybe they'll do Venmo. That would be easier to donate. I don't have money on me.
I can Venmo a can.
You can Venmo a can. So, so it looks like we also have we have more Finny flights.
More Finny flights, as usual. We are continuing to rock these Finny flights out. We'll be covering that, so stay tuned on our social pages for some content of those Finny flights. Ops Group Change of Command coming up. That's a big one, so stay tuned for that. Air Assault School. Our very own A1C Elijah Harris is going to be representing public affairs. We have 3 members going to Air Assault School, which is coming up in September. And Melanie, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time the Massachusetts Army or Air National Guard have participated.
Right. This is the first time they're participating, Army or Air. And we have security forces, public affairs, and maintenance. 3 members from the 104th are going to be doing that. It's a 10-day event. They're going to be learning aerial combat assault operations, sling load operations, and rappelling from a helicopter. All pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't an option when I was in. But Elijah, our PA person who also did Best Warrior, he finds these things and he's like, we're doing it.
Yeah, and he was telling me a little bit about like, what goes on and just how hard the class is and how many people might not pass the class. And
did Elijah actually say it was hard?
I don't know if you use the word hard. We'll have to ask him when he gets there.
Elijah never admits to anything being difficult or defeated or so.
It's one of those things where he said, if you don't have like one pen cap, you fail the entire course and you get sent home.
I do know they have to carry a rubber ducky, and we're going to have to interview him later, but on his list of things, he gets a rubber ducky.
I want the history of when the first rubber ducky was in the packing list. So everything is history.
All right. Also, what you guys should know is this is Suicide Awareness Month. So our Wellness Center is going to be doing lots of walkabouts and handing out swag bags and making sure that you all know the resources that are available on base. We do have several resources that are coming out this month. Military One Source will be out to be determined, but we also have the Vet Center and we have the VA from Leeds coming out, and all of the resources that come out can also go to each individual shop and talk to your members individually or together if you need just like a more support, like a more smaller group, they can come to your shops and do that. I also want to point out Cabana is a free daily support, virtual support platform that is free to all Guard members, Army or Air. And it's free daily support. So there's a flyer that you'll see on base going around, and you'll also see it on our podcast here on YouTube.
And for those of you who are listening, that flyer will be on our social pages as well.
That's right. Yeah. So, look forward to the Wellness Center and what they have going on, and reach out to them. So, I think we're ready for our guest.
I think we're ready for our guest.
Break, and we'll be back with our guest.
All right, we'll be right back. Thank you.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Hey, welcome back. We have Kailee here, and she is a representative from Military One Source. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this is great.
A very important resource everyone should know about, but there are a lot of people who don't know about Military One Source. So can you give us just a good quick review on what is Military One Source, or MOS you might see sometimes?
Yeah, I'll give like the elevator pitch. So we're a Department of Defense Department of Defense funded program. We are 24/7, 365 days a year. Does not matter what time you reach out to us. And we are for every component of military life. So parenting, finances, mental health, deployments. We're here to help you in almost every situation. And if we can't, we're going to find someone that can.
Awesome. And so what does that mean for eligibility?
So active duty, Guard, Reserve, and then anyone who 365 days after you transfer out of duty.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So a year after you leave the military, that's awesome, because there's a lot of transition concerns and things that come up, and a lot of people feel like they're alone. So,
and then also military spouses and kids can use it. Kids up to 18 years old. Yeah.
I had used Military One Source in my past, and I remember it was for therapy, and they had found us a local therapist.
Yep.
So you could do virtual, you could do on the phone, but they had found someone who had a local office, and family therapy. It worked well. It was nice.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was just talking to Kailee before the show, and I kind of mentioned how there's sometimes a little bit of a stigma that can come along with saying, I need help and I need to reach out to different resources, and finding the resources that are available to you when you have that stigma can be a little bit more difficult. So can you talk about like that, how, getting rid of that stigma and just kind of, just being open to accepting the help and being able to, being open to getting those resources?
Absolutely. I mean, Military One Source, we're confidential. So if you reach out to us, your chain of command's not going to know, your spouse isn't going to know, your neighbors aren't going to know. So if give us a call, or even if you're a little intimidated by a phone call, I know, I think I am sometimes. Like, I'll be on DoorDash ordering. I'm like, I don't want to talk to a real person.
The Gen Z thing.
It is the new generation. They want to text before they pick up the phone. And, yeah.
I'm a millennial, so we don't associate, but that's okay. But you can go to our website, and there is like a chat-like function where you can type in, and they'll connect you to whatever you're looking for.
Great.
Okay, so it is Suicide Awareness Month, so let's go over some of the resources that Military One Source has for family, active members, who have friends in the military. So what kind of resources are there?
There's a lot. So actually, I did it right before I came here. I typed in suicide right in our search bar. And the first thing that it brings you to is the Mill Crisis Line. So it gives you that 988 phone number, and then there's also a number that you can text. But then if you keep scrolling, it goes really into identifying risk behaviors and preventions and things that you can do. So it has a bunch of articles and resources and information that you can just click on, and it will give you whatever you're looking for. But my favorite, which isn't really talked about, it's called Mood Hacker app.
Oh,
I haven't heard of that.
Me neither,
that
until
down.
working for Military One Source. So it's a free app that you can download. You do have to create a Military One Source account in order for it.
And that account is free as well.
Yep, everything's free. And what it will do is you'll track your behaviors and your moods and things, and it will actually flag you if you have to go talk to a professional. So that is a great risk prevention if you're not willing, if you don't have that community where you feel comfortable enough to open up about your feelings.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Also, I know Military One Source used to have a shopping cart, and I remember that people would be able to order things and have it delivered to their house for free. Do they still do that type of a thing now?
No. So yes and no. If you want swag, like if you're a service private, sure. But
I remember it being like an iPod, and it had like a breathing recording on there and things to calm you down. And no, okay,
no.
It's like ASMR, like the.
It could have been. I don't know. I know that they also have a library on there.
Yep.
All free. You can find all sorts of books and
everything.
Yeah.
It's called actually the Community Resource Finder tool.
Oh, nice.
It's phenomenal. So it's a vetted library of free resources for military members and their family. So you can type in calming, and it will generate nationwide, like virtual resources, but also like in person that you can go to.
All right. So you are also a member on the base.
I am.
So I wanted to just ask you, what resources do you know on base that support Military One Source, but also can help, let's say a member goes somewhere and they said, I listened to this podcast and I heard about this Military One Source. Who can help them on base know more about Military One Source?
I got a couple people. Lisa Petito, she's phenomenal, and her team, Mary, Michelle, and Brad.
Yes. What about our chaplains? Our chaplains are also a good resource.
Our chaplains are amazing. I've been traveling. I say I'm the Western or the Massachusetts world traveler because I'm at the Cape, I'm in Boston, I'm in Worcester, and I've gone to different branches where they have different chaplains and they're speaking, and I'm just like, you know what? Like our chaplain literally is top tier.
Right. So why is suicide awareness important?
Why isn't it important? You know, every life is important, and especially raising awareness. Awareness means hope.
Yeah,
and that, you know, it's erasing the stigma that
exactly
that you know, you can't reach out when you should reach out.
Right. Or just knowing, you know, being aware of those signs, and you know, sometimes people, you know, they feel down, but they're not suicidal, or for, you know, not ignoring the signs that build up. I think that's very important. So, you know, just being aware of what's happening with the person themselves who could become suicidal, but also for the coworkers and the friends, and just, you know, just have the awareness about it. And again, taking that stigma away. It's a thing. It's real. And you know.
Yeah, and you know, we're a very close knit family. Barnstormers are very tight knit, so you can kind of see and you kind of look out for those warning signs. Where if you see if someone doesn't look normal, you know, those might be signs where you can kind of reach out or reach out to the wellness center, or you know, anything like that. Reach out to all those resources that are available to you. And we kind of mentioned that. We kind of talked about a little bit about like how our wellness center and how One Source is being able to provide for our Barnstormers. One class that Michelle Tark actually talked about was the lockbox class next week.
And we have a flyer on our slides here. This is a free class. You can register through Michelle Tarka, and you'll get a free lockbox. It's for can we pull up that slide?
Yeah, and just talking about suicide prevention, because I know Michelle talked a little bit about this class coming up and what benefit it would serve. Those few seconds that it could take to open up a lockbox versus just open up a drawer, that could save your life.
Here it is. So it's from 12 to 14 September, and it's secure firearm storage training to decrease harmful behaviors. Again, it's open to Army and Air Guard members. It'll be on the 104th Fighter Wing. You register with Michelle Tarka, and you get up to a $50 gift card compensation for completing 3 brief surveys. So there's a few incentives to go, other than the obvious. So that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. So anything else we should know about Military One Source? Anything that's maybe even if it's not related to suicide awareness?
Just call them. Seriously. They will help you with any component. I've been serving 11 years, never heard of Military One Source, and I've saved the last 6 months of my job like over $6,000 utilizing their resources.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, when I remember also another fun fact, in their library, they have, like if you're fixing your car, and they have manuals in the library, so you can just, go in and it's
That's
like
good
its
to know.
own little network. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Biggie, what is Military One Source doing there? How often has Military One Source gone? What time are you going to be there?
This is the first time I think Military One Source is ever going.
Awesome.
Had to work some loopholes and to be able to go, but
That's great.
it's just going to be talking about the free resources that we have and try to get it to as many people as possible.
Love that.
Because if I didn't know about it and I'm saving all this money, man, there's a bunch of people out there, y'all.
You just told me I can get free diapers, and my eyes did the whole...
Right?
Diapers, yeah, that's like a never-ending bill.
A whole new world I'm not experienced before.
Part of,
so.
I've done the Biggie as a resource and as a member, spouse, and whatnot. Being there to also help the other resources know about Military One Source. So like, the VA will know about it, but there's other community resources that will be at the Biggie to help support all the members. It is a veteran event and active member. So even though Military One Source isn't available to a veteran, there's going to be a flood of active members, Guard and Reserve, also going there. So it's definitely worth Military One Source being there. And then just also sharing and networking with the other resources and making sure that they can make other people aware of it as well.
I just want to say, although veterans aren't eligible, if you call our 1-800 number and you ask for something, you're looking for something, they'll do the dirty work and they'll find you that third-party resource.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did not say this. This is not live. So a veteran can call our
That's
hotline and get the resources.
And also
they
the
need.
365 days after you've left the military. So that's a big one. I never knew that. And
Yep.
I've been doing this almost 30 years. That's really good.
It is.
Really
And
good to know.
For me, I feel like the biggest obstacle is just knowing where to start.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. This is great. We look forward to seeing you on the base in uniform and also as Military One Source.
Yes.
And we'll all see you at the Biggie as well.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is the 6th episode of the Barnes Flyover. Thank you so much for tuning in. Chloe, any saved rounds for anyone?
Just wish me luck next month. I'll be by myself unless one of you guys wants to come on and do a co-host with me. And then potentially, because I think you're coming back for a couple weeks and then leaving again.
Yep.
So
Don't wish me luck. I got this.
Yeah, you got this. You got this. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll see you later.
See you later.